So like I mentioned in my Litha Witchathon TBR video, I have become more of a mood reader, which is great, and I decided I'm going to actually limit the amount of readathons I participate in, so it just makes it easier for me to just pick the books I want to read. And even if it is I'm participating in a readathon, I like to keep my TBR these days very flexible. But my girl Mayona of Little Wolf Reads is holding one thing. Of course, it's the Biblio Games, even though last year we knew it more as the BookTube Games. Was it last year or this year? Bitch, it was this year. Oh my god. Okay, so even though this year she had hosted it and it was called the BookTube Games, but now she's changed it to Biblio Games, so that you know whether you're a booktuber or not a booktuber, you can still participate so far as you love to read and it's fun and everything else. So yes, so we're having it. And I remembered during the last Biblio Games, I had this humongous TBR pile which I did not even get halfway through, and it kind of just made me very anxious, and eventually, because I could not complete it, I started panicking and I just lost my joy for the entire reading month. So this time around I'm going to be really chill. Thankfully there are actual prompts that are basically like classes, because this is superhero / villain / anti-hero theme. So think Sky High, the movie Sky High, and for each of these classes there's a prompt, and I'm just going to go with the classes, like pick a book to fit the prompt for each class, and then any other book I read during the month, we go back to the Biblio Games way of just adding the pages on, so my team can get all that points. And I don't think anybody is surprised, but I am proudly team villain. In this house we love us some good villains. So yeah, I'm just going to go through each of the classes and the books I chose, and bring it home for team villain, bring it home for team villain, bring it home for team villain.
To be talking to you, Belladonna. Should have taken a break, not an Oxford comma. Take what I want when I wanna.
Hello everybody, Nora back again. So yes, let's just talk about the books and the prompts now. The prompts are separated into two. There is the general prompt for everybody that's participating in the Biblio Games, whatever your class may be, whether you're a superhero, you're a sidekick, you're an anti-hero, you're a villain, you name it. And then there are the specific classes books. So villains, for example, have a specific set of prompts. Same thing goes for heroes, anti-heroes, sidekicks, and everything else. So yes, the main classes, the very first class for the main class is homeroom, and the prompt says read the group book, which is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Now, I have only read one V.E. Schwab book so far, and that is A Darker Shade of Magic, and I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4-star. It was really cool. And so yes, I actually really love this one, because you all know how much I love my villains, and this book is apparently about two boys who decided to kill each other in order to gain superpowers, and then hated each other after the fact, and spent years trying to kill each other again for real. I know, it sounds like an absolute and complete clusterfuck, and I cannot wait to read it. Plus, it also has the added advantage of being, the villains in this, they are kick-ass women, because we all know V.E. Schwab knows how to write kick-ass women. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I sincerely hope that at least one or two of the women are just a little bit gay, just because, this is June, and, Pride Month has to be lit. Just saying. So yeah, the second main class is gym, format you don't usually read. Now this is way more interesting, because I don't think there's any book format that I have not, I don't read. I listen to audiobooks, I definitely read graphic novels, I definitely read hardcovers, paperbacks, even mass market paperback, as much as I do not like them. But when I thought long and hard about it, I realized that, I actually have not read this format of book in a while, and that is multimedia. So usually there should be videos, there should be pictures, there should be words and all of that, but in this particular context I decided to go with Illuminae by J. Christoph and Amy Kaufman. Now the reason why I'm going with this is because the format is interesting. Apparently it's written as part book, part interviews, part code files, part briefing notes, you know, and part emails. Like, it just, look at this. Like, this is not your typical standard book format. And I definitely, like, look at this. This is not your typical standard book format. So let me open this up for you. So I'm just like this looks like my type of, like, look at this. This is so fucking cool. So yes, definitely a format I don't even think I've actually read anything like this before. So I'm intrigued. Plus, I heard that this is an amazing series and I'm going to love it. Like, I have a lot of friends that love this series, and so far they've not led me wrong. They told me I was going to love Nevernight by J. Christoph, and I fucking love it. And they said I'm going to love Illuminate, so I'm going to, you know, take their word for it and read it. I actually, now that I'm looking at it, I have zero idea what this book is about, and I bought the entire trilogy. So yeah, I am very intrigued. I do not know what this book is about at all. I do know that there's some sort of robot AI villain called Aiden, which I'm going to love apparently. So I can't wait to read all about him and meet him. But yeah, this is definitely the book I'm reading for gym. Now, the third main class is Launch, which is pick a book with a satisfying ending. And for that, I am going with I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu. And the reason why is that this is just a cutesy romance novel, which of course automatically means that you do know that this is going to have a satisfying ending, because that's like the #1 rule of romance novels. Yeah, it's just the rule. You know, people will shank you if you write a romance novel that does not have a happy ending in it. Like, it's just part of the rules of the trade. Just like the characters fall in love, they must find their happy ending, and we must walk away from it all lovey and gooey inside. It's just, I don't make the rules. If you're writing a romance novel, it has to have a happy ending. And please do not mention Nicholas Sparks, because I don't know how to tell you this, but romance writers don't really consider Nicholas Sparks a romance writer, just because it's like a contract. When you sign up for a romance book, you expect to get a happy ending. If you don't, that is a book with love in it. That is not a romance. I'm not about to get into it. Let's just say that I have full faith that this book is going to have a happy ending and it will suit Launch perfectly. Now, what is this book about? Desi, who is our main character, apparently is your type A personality, who is really, really good. Like, she's the student body president, she's a varsity soccer star. Like, she has it all except for when it comes to her love life, because she's an absolute and complete mess in that. And when she runs into this guy she has a really big crush on, she decides that she's going to tackle the love aspect of it the way she's done every other thing in her life, by studying it. And in this case, she decides to study she decides, okay, she's going to follow the formula of K-dramas, which is what, you know, she's really used to. And yes, she uses K-dramas as her guide to get the guy. Like, that just, if you know my channel, you know I love K-dramas. So I was just like, oh my god, yes, yes, and yes. I can't wait to read this. I want to see if she succeeds. And yeah, this is just so fucking cool. I can't wait to read this. Now we go to the villain specific classes, and the very first villain class is Mad Science, which is, we are meant to read a sci-fi book, and for that I'm going with Once and Future by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy. Now this is a gender bend King Arthur retelling that is set in space. Like, do you understand? This has a lot of things that I love about it. One, it's set in space, which check. Second, it's a King Arthur retelling, which check. Third, it's a gender bend Arthur retelling, which means Arthur in this case is Ari. Check. Fourthly, this book is hella gay. Like, oh my god, this book is so fucking gay. Like, gay, you're in it. It like, I'm certain it has gender non-binary rep, there's pansexual rep, there's bisexual rep, there's gay rep, there's asexual rep. Like, this book has all the reps. So it only makes perfect sense that I read it during Pride Month. And I can't wait to read this. I can't wait to read this. Now the next villain class is Archery 101, and we're meant to read a book with a badass main character, and for that I am going with Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. Now, goddamn, you see, if you know me, you know how much I love assassins. Like, assassins are my jam. There are assassin nuns in this book. I kid you not. Nuns who are assassins. in this book. And I'm like, say what? And apparently this book is also gay. So I'm like, it's gay, they're assassins, they are nuns who are assassins. What is not to love? And apparently it's also all about training in a school slash church slash non-convent, you know, and all I know is that they're assassin nuns, and I have to read this book. So yes, I have to find out all about Nonna Grey, what her mysterious past is, and I need to read about those skills, because in this house we stand assassins in books. So yeah. And the last prompt for the villains classes is World Domination, which is body read a book with a team member. And for that, I'm going with The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi, which I am body reading with the amazing Maddie of Ember AG on Twitter. Like, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to this. Like, firstly, I was so terrified because everybody had been all paired up, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not going to find someone I could body read with. And then I saw the tweet on Twitter, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, sure. And we looked at each other's TBR, and The Gilded Wolves is on both our TBRs. We both want to read it, and I cannot wait to read this one because it's an heist novel that also is a bit of treasure hunting, which I love treasure hunting. And okay, so you have them pulling a heist, they are treasure hunting. Of course, it also has the found family trope in it, and also there's a lot of gay in this book. Like, what can I say? June is all about, you know, like, we always let out the gay, but it's so cool to understand that in June we can be super hella gay. Anyway, I can't wait to read this. I cannot wait to read this. I've had this in my TBR since January, which was when this book came out, and it came in my Alcred box. Like, you can see the deckled edges is so pretty. And yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to body read this and just lose myself in this amazing world and just try and solve puzzles and try to figure things out as we race against time to discover a treasure. Now, I know a lot of people have compared this with Six of Crows, and yes, Six of Crows is one of my favorite books, one of my favorite series of all time. But I'm not going to read this book. I'm not going to go into this book thinking that, oh my god, I'm looking for another Six of Crows. Like, I'm going to look at this book based on its own merit. And yeah, not every heist novel has to be Six of Crows. It's just a heist book. It's treasure hunting, lots of amazing characters, found family. Like, it ticks all my boxes, so I cannot wait to read it. So yes, those are all the books I am reading for the Biblio Games. Let me know if you're participating. If you are, let me know what your teams are. If you're team villain, sup. If you aren't team villain, hi. So yeah, if you like this video, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. Check out my other videos, subscribe if you want to. I make new videos every Sundays, Wednesdays and Fridays, and I'll see you soon. Until then, stay passionate, love books, love yourself. Bye.
My strange addiction, my doctors can't explain my symptoms or my